Welcome back to Tactician's Monday matches, and this is starting to become a trend here because these are starting to appear less and less on Monday and more on Tuesday. I don't know why I call them Tactician's Monday matches if they're, happening on Tuesday. But in any case, we're going to get into our first battle here. This one is going to be me against Kaylee, and these matches, let's just say they happened on one of my battle streams. These batches all happened on my battle stream that happened on Sunday Night Brawls. For those of you who want to, see what happened, just go check out the VOD. But in any case, I'm gonna lead my two Pokemon in here. Gonna be leading with Buster and Kodiak. I'm just gonna say right off the bat that Intimidate is not gonna help me out whatsoever. But in any case, I'm gonna go for a taunt here onto the Comfy. Gonna try and stop those silly little shenanigans from those helping hand shenanigans. And I'm gonna go for Dark EMZ here with Kodiak. Gonna go for Z Crunch. Gonna see if I can do something here. So here comes the Black Hole Eclipse. For a physical attacking move, why does it launch a black hole? But in any case, the Audino here is gonna go right into the black hole, and then we're gonna be peachy. Unfortunately, I get an Ice Beam to the face here. Buster is not exactly happy about that. So I'm thinking, okay, this isn't too bad, but it turns out the Audino was, Mega. And apparently Kaylee forgot to Mega her Pokemon turn 1. But in any case, Comfy's now gonna go for a Draining Kiss, which is not what I was hoping to deal with. But in any case, Buster is now gonna set up a Tailwind here, and Kodiak's gonna go for a Poison Fang into the Comfy. I'm like, alright, this shouldn't be too bad, and I get the Poison, which is beautiful because that's now badly poisoned Comfy. And unfortunately, this is the end of my leading duo. Buster and Kodiak are going down, so not the best of starts. And so Comfy's gonna take a bit of poison damage. Also forgot to mention that this Sunday Night Brawl actually featured some interesting things because I actually used, really powerful Pokemon instead of my normal rosters. Didn't use them only, but I used, like 1 or 2 onto the teams just to fit the theme or so of the team. But in any case, I'm gonna bring in Alice and I'm gonna bring in you here. So Comfy's gonna, gonna get a little bit of health back, but Alice is gonna throw out the Hex, gonna get the critical hit. I'm thinking great, but it turns out that the Comfy has a citrus berry. So it's gonna take some of that health off, and I'm thinking, oh crap, it's gonna go for something in, and I accidentally made the wrong move. I meant to go for Detect, but instead I get Refresh. So I'm like, crap, that's not right. So Comfy's gonna go for it, gonna get some health back. I'm thinking, okay, now I can go for the Detect because I did not mean to go for Refresh that previous turn. I'm gonna go for Detect here. Gonna block the Comfy's attempt to get more health back, and Alice is gonna go for another Hex. For those who don't know, Hex doubles in power if the opponent is suffering a static condition. So it's actually very good that Kodiak managed to poison that Comfy, because that's really starting to get annoying. But the Audino's gonna get some health back thanks to Wish. You is also gonna get some health back thanks to his leftovers. And we're gonna just keep on rolling right along. So out comes the Nidoqueen. And I'm thinking, okay, so we got Nidoqueen on the field, possible poisons and such. Kaylee's gonna withdraw her Audino and send in her Goodra. So this was not exactly part of the plan here. I was gonna go for a Mystic Fire, gonna try and weaken the Audino's special attack. End up hitting the Goodra instead. So I'm gonna go for a Feint attack, see what happens, and well, Nidoqueen's gonna go for a Crunch into poor Alice. She's not known for her defenses, and she just drops like a sack of rocks. So that's the end of my Miss Magius. That's the end of my Miss Magius Alice. Poor Alice, and that also is the end of my Tailwind. So now out comes Cresselia. So I'm thinking, okay, we got Cresselia on the field now. So what can I do here? So Kaylee's gonna send back in her Audino. So okay, I'm thinking, okay, she's gonna go for another crunch, and it's gonna go into Cresselia. That's not exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna go for a psychic attack into Nidoqueen. So that did some very good damage. Dropped the special defense. And Yu's gonna go for a feint attack into what I was hoping was gonna be the Gudra, but instead it's the Audino. So that turn netted me not a whole lot. Not a whole lot was gained with that turn. So Nidoqueen's gonna go for another crunch attack into Cresselia. She is bulky. Man. Those who don't know, Cresselia can sure take a pounding. But I'm gonna get some health thanks to my Agua Berry. Cresselia is also gonna go for Moonlight just to bring her back up to full HP. Just in case, you know, just to make sure she survives. And Yu's gonna go for a feint attack to finish off the Nidoqueen here. So that's the end of the Nidoqueen. Not sure if the critical hit mattered. So that's the end of the Nidoqueen, and Audino's gonna go for a Dazzling Gleam into Yu. Yu doesn't like the Dazzling Gleam, but he's trained for special defenses. Yeah, I've trained him to really take special defense or special attack hit. Yes, special attacks. There we go. So now out comes Rapidash, shiny Rapidash. My goodness, I just love the Rapidash shiny. I really like it. But Rapidash is gonna go for a bounce, so that's not good. I'm gonna go for a Moonblast into the Audino because, you know, why not? So I dropped the special attack of the Audino, so that's pretty good. I go for a feint attack into the Rapidash, but it misses, and Audino's gonna go for a Cresselia Ice Beam. So not good. Definitely not good. So now Yu's gonna go for get some health back. Now Rapidash is gonna bounce, gonna hit poor Cresselia. Cresselia survives. Cresselia is now gonna go for a psychic attack into the Audino. I'm trying to weaken this Audino. I'm trying so hard. But I'm gonna take on the Rapidash, hit Rapidash with a feint attack from Yu. It's gonna, you know, do some damage, pop the air balloon. But now Audino's gonna go for another wish. So this Audino is really starting to get difficult to kill. That is really hard to knock out. Rapidash is gonna go for a Mega Horn into Yu this turn, and it hurts. Yes, it hurts badly. I mean, you can take special attacks, but his physical attacks not so much. But I'm gonna go for another attack with Yu with a feint. Yu's actually gonna get hurt this turn, not only from both the Mega Horn but also the Thunderbolt. And I'm gonna get the paralysis off onto the Audino. That is actually good for me because now it's a little slower. But the problem is now the Rapidash is, well, it's still on the field. Yu is really struggling to survive here, and I'm thinking he's not gonna survive. Yeah, he does not survive this follow-up Mega Horn. Oh, my poor Umbreon. He tried his hardest, but he just could not survive. But I'm gonna go for a Moonblast. I was thinking maybe this would do enough damage, but I forgot that fire resists fairy types. So no, I do not survive it. So Cresselia is now gonna take another Thunderbolt, and I'm gonna get paralyzed. So all fun and games. So I'm thinking, all right, it's time to bring out Nebby. Nebby finally decides to show herself. Finally decides to, you know, actually pull her weight around on the team. So Nebby's gonna take a Flare Blitz to the face. It's a critical hit. It does not matter. The Rapidash is still standing. I'm like, come on. That could have at least finished it off. I go into a Psychic with Cresselia into the Rapidash. That's gonna end the Rapidash. And now the Audino is gonna go for Nebby Thunderbolting, but Nebby sets up a trick room. Because you know why? Nebby just likes to play tricks on people. I really love to play tricks on everyone. So, now Gudra comes back out. So now it's a 2v3. I've only got Cresselia and Nebby to work with. So I gotta make the most of my two Moon duo. So I'm thinking, alright, let's go for a Moonblast into the Gudra. See if we can do something. We accidentally trigger a weakness policy. This actually really hurts me now because now the Trick Room is up, so it's going to go for a Curse. So it's increasing its defenses while increasing its attack power. So this is already not looking good, so I'm thinking, okay, my best hope is to power it down. So I'll go for another Moonblast into the Goodra. That deals a lot more damage than Cresselia, but it's still not enough to knock out the Goodra. So now Audino is just going to go for another Thunderbolt into Nebby. Cresselia is going to go into another Moonblast into the Goodra. I'm thinking, okay, what can we do here? So Goodra is at +3 with its physical attack. It really hurts Nebby, but I'm gonna go into my next move, my Moongaze Beam, because I'm starting to get desperate. I am getting desperate here, people. Oh, but thankfully we bring down the Goodra, so that's the end of the Goodra. Hooray! Goodra is down. And oh my goodness, we are already 10 minutes in and we're still on the first battle. This was an intense battle, I tell you right now. So we're gonna have Nidoking now. Nidoking's on the field. Audino is paralyzed. I'm thinking if it had moved that turn, I probably would have lost. Cresselia is gonna go into a Psychic attack onto the Nidoking. I'm thinking, alright, I'm gonna try and survive this turn. I'm gonna go for a Moonlight here for Nebby, try to get some health back. So I'm thinking, okay, this will probably hurt. And it actually does hurt because the Nidoking knows Earth Power and Nebby is not a fan of Earth Power. So, that's the end of that turn, but Audino comes in for the next turn, still paralyzed. I'm thinking, oh, come on, no, I'm paralyzed again. I needed Cresselia to knock out the Nidoking this turn because otherwise Nebby's gonna have to set up with this Moonlight. And I'm gonna go for it, another one. But I managed to survive, barely. But now the Trick Room's over, and now the Nidoking is faster. But Kaylee makes a mistake and forgets that Cresselia is levitating. So this gives Nebby the turn he or she needs to go for another Moongaze Beam. Bam! Down goes the Nidoking. So that's all the powerhouses down for Kaylee. Cresselia is still paralyzed because she doesn't want to move. And now out comes another wish. So I'm thinking, oh crap, I gotta knock this thing out now while it's low. Otherwise I'm gonna have real difficulty. So, Nebby goes for another Moonblast into the Audino. Cresselia goes for a Psychic attack. We're doing everything we can. The critical hit probably did matter this time. And that's the end of the Audino, and whoo! I dodged a bullet there, people. I dodged a bullet. So, I'm gonna pull out that was a pretty fun battle. So, I'm thinking I'm gonna show off this one thing, perhaps. Yeah, I'm gonna show off this next battle. This one is against Marfy, I believe. Yes, this one is, no, not Marfy. Mario! It's a me, Mario! But we're gonna go off against Mario here. So I'm gonna send in Kaylani and Linda to take on his Stoutland and Gigalith. Oh my goodness, look at the shiny leaves. Hey, that's the same color scheme as one of the berries. So Gigalith's gonna go for a Sandstream here. Kaylani's just gonna sit pretty. She's not exactly happy. Doesn't like the sand. You know, neither does my Absol. So my Absol Linda doesn't like being in here, so she's gonna go Mega Form. And unfortunately, neither of my Pokemon were fast enough to outspeed this Stoutland and its Z move. So it's gonna go for a Z Gigavolt Havoc. I tried to go for a Z Sing here. Unfortunately, yeah. Kaylani can take special attacks, but she cannot handle physical attacks. So that's the end of Kaylani. Rest in peace, my starter. Poor Kaylani. So I'm gonna go for a knockoff into the Gigalith, thinking, okay, what's it going? And it's Choice Scarf. I have never seen a Choice Scarf on a Gigalith before. That really caught me off guard. So Linda's gonna take a whole lot of damage from that Gigalith. So that's not what I wanted. So I'm gonna pull Linda back here, and I'm gonna send in Brianna, my Mudsdale. So I'm gonna send in Brianna, hopefully endure a physical attack. Unfortunately, my opponent Mario goes for a crunch into Sylvester. And so Sylvester's gonna go for a Leaf Storm into the Gigalith, get some special attack increase going. But I did learn that this Stoutland is very fast to be able to outspeed my Sylvester. Oh my goodness. So Mario's now going to go into his Ludicolo here. So this Ludicolo actually caught me completely off guard. So that's going to be Sylvester going to be protecting. Stoutland was trying to retaliate into Sylvester. The Ice Beam was also going to go into Sylvester. I'm going to go into a superpower with Stoutland here. Thinking, okay, that's going to be the end of the Stoutland because I needed to keep the speed in my favor, get rid of the Stoutland. Unfortunately, the Stoutland was not the fastest Pokemon on his team, and it turns out that this Ludicolo is Swift Swim, as I found out later on in this battle when the Pelipper comes out. So I'm thinking, okay, so the Pelipper is out, the rain is out. My Brianna does not like the rain any more than Kaylani liked the sandstorm, so I'm going to pull Brianna back here thinking, okay, I can take a special attack with my Reshiram. My Reshiram is going to come out, going to show off my Turbo Blaze here. I'm missing my Fedora. Stupid Arena doesn't let my hat in. They let the Ludicolo hat in, but I find out that the Ludicolo is Swift Swim. Sylvester goes down to an Ice Beam. That's the end of that. Out comes a Scald from Pelipper. I take that up with my high special defense and Assault Vest, so that's pretty good. So I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to send in Linda here. So I'm thinking, okay, he'll probably focus down Linda with his next attack, so I'm going to go for Detect here. Ludicolo does indeed go for an Ice Beam, but into my Reshiram, so that's not good. Now my Reshiram goes for a Dragon Pulse into the Ludicolo. So that's going to be the end of the Ludicolo. Let me tell you, this battle came down to the wire. So Ludicolo is going to go for another Energy Ball. Or not another Ice Beam, an Energy Ball here goes into the critical hit onto Linda. I'm definitely not sure that mattered. I should have gone for a Sucker Punch, but I didn't. I didn't realize it was Swift Swim at the time. So I'm going to go for a Dragon Pulse into the Pelipper. Pelipper is going to go for a Hurricane. I'm praying that I don't get confused, and indeed I do not get confused. I survive by the skin of my teeth here. So now out comes Remus. Remus is going to be taking an Ice Beam to the face. He does not like that. But he is faster. No, not faster. I'm actually faster than Remus. I think Remus is actually my quiet nature to come out. So that Pelipper is going to take a Dragon Pulse to the face. I'm going to take a Changing Scales onto the Ludicolo. Because at this point, there's no way I can survive many hits. So Remus is going to go for a Clanging Scales just to make sure that the Ludicolo goes down. And now out comes the duo that I really feared on his team. It's the Snow Duo. Alolan Ninetales and Sandslash. Yeah. That's not good. Once again, this is another Snow Duo team, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to have to protect here. I'm going to try and endure. So Sandslash is going to go for a Rock Slide. I'm like, oh crap, this is the end of my Reshiram. But it turns out I survived by the skin of my teeth. And my Reshiram, well, he doesn't get a chance to move before the Aurora Veil goes off. But when he does finally go off, my Reshiram, he goes for the Fusion Flare. Out comes the Fusion Flare, into the Sandslash, and down goes the Sandslash. Thank goodness for that ×4 weakness to fire. Woo! But I'm going to take some damage here from my opponent. And this is not going to be the greatest of turns. So now I'm thinking, okay, what's he going to do? He's going to go for... Mario's going to go for a Moonblast into my Reshiram. I think that was the smarter choice. Because as long as my Reshiram was up, he was going to take a Flame Attack to the face. But fortunately, my Remus knows Flash Cannon. So that's going to be the end of that poor Ninetales. Almost. It has a Focus Sash still, so it has one more turn left in it. But I still have Brianna in the background. So now the opponent, Mario, is going to go for a Moonblast into Remus. Going to take my poor Como down. So rest in peace, Remus. He did all he could. He was a trooper. But now it comes down to Brianna to heavy slam that Ninetales, and down goes the Ninetales. Hooray! Team Impy pulls out another victory by the skin of their teeth. Whew! That was a close one. So let me see, I'm thinking, no, not that one. That one was pretty much a sweep. So this one though, my goodness people, it's better if I just show you actually. This one was very nail biting for me and my partner because Leathia is not the, I won't say anything mean, but not the brightest of battlers, not the most experienced actually. So, me and my partner Leathia, who happens to also be my channel artist, are gonna go up against the legendary Will and his partner Marfy. So this was a multi-battle that really went the distance. So, let's see how this goes actually. This was actually a really close battle. Actually, I'm not gonna show a lot of it, so I'm just gonna, or actually not gonna do a lot of editing in the back. Instead, I'm just gonna tell you all right now that this really was hard to do. This was hard to coordinate because I had to coordinate not only my own moves with Leathia, but I had to, you know, guide her through step by step strategy wise. So in any case, I'm gonna lead with Linda, my Mega Absol. Probably missed most of the opening, but I'm gonna go for Mega Absol. She's gonna air slash the Galvantula, open for a flinch, but unfortunately the Galvantula does not get flinched. So that was bad. So I managed to pull out the Magic Bounce to put the Sticky Web on my opponent's side of the field, and I'm gonna go for another knockoff to knock out that Galvantula, just so I don't have to deal with any more entry hazards. Turns out the Galvantula is holding a life orb. So now out comes Marfy's Sableye. And just so people know, Will is only using 2 Pokemon. He says he wanted to handicap himself, but in truth, he just ran out of time. So, unfortunately, my partner's Pokemon gets paralyzed here. The Noivern gets paralyzed. I tell her to go for a Draco Meteor into the Sableye because I wanted a combo up onto it, you know, try to deal a lot of damage, but turns out the Sableye managed to get a fake out on poor Linda. So I tell my partner to pull the Noivern out once again, and send in her Delphox. So Sableye is going to go for a recover here. That's not good, I don't like it. But I'm going to go for a knockoff thinking, okay, just knock off the item. Unfortunately, it's a Mega Sableye, so I don't get the bonus damage. Unfortunately, my partner's Delphox doesn't get much help either this turn. Switched into a foul play, so I'm going to tell her to swap back into the Noivern. We're trying to power down one of the opponent's Pokemon. So I'm going to go for another knockoff into the Sableye. I'm trying to power this thing down as much as I possibly can. My Will is going to go for another foul play into the Noivern, and they doubled up into the Noivern. So, yippee, lovely. Sableye is going to go for another priority recover, so that this is really starting to get annoying because every time we get close to knocking it out, it just recovers itself. So that's going to go for another round of knockoff, Draco Meteor into the Sableye. This was not pretty to watch actually, and we're getting some frame rate loss here, people, sorry about that. So we get some more foul play action here. That's gonna be another round of foul play into poor Noivern. I'm thinking, okay, come on, we gotta try knocking it out. So Sableye goes for another recover. I'm thinking, okay, we're so close, just another round. So I go for another knockoff into the Sableye thinking, come on Impy, we gotta try something. So we go for another Draco Meteor. She's lost a lot of power with the Draco Meteor. So Noivern is not looking pretty. Noivern definitely does not like this. And so unfortunately we try all we could, but the Sableye is just too defensive. So I'm thinking, okay, forget this. I'm going to go for a Shadow Claw into the Klefki. Thinking, okay, I'll target this Klefki now. And Will once again goes into a foul play, but this time into Linda. So Linda is not looking good, so I tell Leathia to go for a Torment into the Sableye, trying to stop it from healing itself constantly. So now I have Leathia swap out her Noivern. This was really difficult to coordinate. So I'm thinking, okay, bring in Delphox, see what we can do. And well, now my opponent chooses this time to go Mega. So this was not fun at all. So Klefki is still on the field. It is still using those priority moves to set up these light screens and reflects. I'm going to go for another knockoff into the Sableye, but its huge defenses make it really hard to damage. And its stronger attack makes it, well, stronger. So my poor Linda, we've lost our magic bounce, or our magic bounce protection. So I think I'm gonna go into my Reshiram, see if I can do something to help my partner out. So I have my partner go for a role play, copy the magic bounce, to help protect us against these against thunder waves. I go for a fusion flare into the Klefki just in case, and it turns out I made the right choice. I knock out the Klefki, that's good. No more light screens we have to deal with. Of course, we still have to deal with the light screens that are on the field, but at least we don't have to deal with any more in the future. So Sableye is going to go for a recover, and now Will sends in his Mimikyu. Remember, this is his last Pokemon. He only brought in 2. And thankfully, those sticky webs from before are still on the field. So I'm thinking, okay, knock out the Mimikyu, see if we can combo attack once again. So Mimikyu is going to lose its disguise. I tried to go for a blue flare into the Mimikyu. Unfortunately, Mimikyu avoids the attack. Rest in peace, that 15% accuracy miss. And for our trouble, we lose Delphox. Oh, my poor partner's Pokemon. That wasn't what we wanted to have happen. So now I'm thinking, okay, so Trick Room is established, the reflects are down, they're starting to lose some of their defenses. Fortunately, my partner had a Lurantis. It's not my Juliet, but it's close enough. So I have my partner go for a contrary attack into the Mimikyu, thinking we could, combo attack it. But unfortunately, the Mimikyu decided to protect this turn, so we've revealed our contrary move. I'm going to go for a blue flare into the Sableye, try to weaken the damage, and I do indeed get the burn this turn. So that is brilliant. My Reshiram is still awesome. Still the best Reshiram on the field. It's also the only Reshiram on the field. The Lurantis, on the other hand, is currently burned, so this is bad. Now with the Trick Room up, we are slower than them, but the Sableye is slowest of all, so it's gonna go first. I had her go for another Leaf Storm into the Mimikyu, since it is in fact no longer protected by Protect. Will's gonna go for a Destiny Bond, hoping to bring me down, cause I think he knew I was gonna try and target him down, get rid of him. I'm thinking, oh crap, no! But fortunately, my Reshiram does not actually knock out the Mimikyu. Oh, thank goodness my Reshiram did not knock out the Mimikyu. And it was actually thanks to that light screen. If it weren't for the light screen, I probably would have lost my Reshiram. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to send in Kaylee. I was going to use my Sparkling Aria to, heal the burn of Mimikyu. Unfortunately, my opponent had other plans and goes for a foul play into the Lurantis. And my partner goes into a Leaf Storm into the Sableye to knock out the Sableye, which is brilliant. Hooray! That's the end of the Sableye's reign of terror, but my partner is losing the battle when it comes to the health of her Lurantis. So this Trick Room actually helps our opponent out, because the Sticky Web makes them slower, and the Trick Room makes them faster. So Magnezone is going to go for a Hidden Power into our Lurantis. We lose Lurantis. That's the end of that. Kaylee gets Pain Splitted here. but still manages to get off a sparkling aria. Thankfully my partner wasn't on the field, but not really because I could have cured the burn. But we lost Laurentis. So now it's out comes the Noivern. So I'm thinking, okay, now we know what they got. Mimikyu was holding a Focus Sash and Magnezone is holding an Assault Vest. So I have us double team Will to knock out the Mimikyu. Thankfully I'm faster now thanks to the Trick Room being over. And now I'm faster than Mimikyu, so I knock out the Mimikyu. Hooray! That is the end of Will. Now it's down to Marfy. And Marfy, well, he knocks out poor Kaylee, almost knocks out poor Kaylani. I actually forgot that. She has 1 health. She survives on 1 health. Whew, thank goodness. But I get off a Z Sing here. I'm thinking, okay, time for a Z Sing. I'm thinking maybe I can knock out this Magnezone. Unfortunately, the Z Sing, well, misses. So that's the end of that. Now we're in deep trouble because now we lose both of our Pokemon. It's down to only my Reshiram remains for our side. So it's down to Reshiram versus Magnezone. Both of our Pokemon have Assault Vest. The difference is I am a Reshiram and it's a Magnezone. And for those who don't know, Reshiram is a Fire type, Magnezone is a Steel type, and Fire melts Steel. So I send in the Blue Flare, melt the Magnezone, and bring victory to our side. Hooray, Team Tactical Knowledge. Whew, that was a tough one. Tough because I had to coordinate with Leathia. Oh, but brilliant. Oh, thank you all for watching. I'm sorry there's no silly little annotations up top, but I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.